If you're part of an organisation that is working to protect Aotearoa New Zealand's coastal areas from biosecurity threats, then we might be able to help. We're Cawthron Institute, based in Whakatū, Nelson, and for the past 5 years we've been leading a global team of experts to create a government-funded marine biosecurity toolbox. The toolbox empowers people with the knowledge, resources and tools they need to prevent the unwanted spread of invasive species in our oceans and coastal areas.
So we've got about 15,000 kilometres of coastline and a lot of values enmeshed with healthy marine ecosystems attached to that coastline, including economic, societal, cultural, recreational. And so we have a challenge of essentially deploying our resources smartly and sensibly to make sure we protect what we love.
So in New Zealand we have an extensive legacy of marine pests that have been introduced from overseas, and these pests continue to arrive. These pests can have disastrous effects on our marine environment and associated industries. So the overarching objective of the program was to develop practical tools for post-border biosecurity in New Zealand. The tools we developed ranged from methods to prevent the likelihoods of pests establishing in high-risk locations such as ports and marinas, through to new surveillance technologies and pathway modelling approaches. These tools sit under a broader framework for integration and application by stakeholders, including regulators, scientists and mana whenua.
The first challenge Marine Biosecurity Toolbox program researchers and end users wanted to overcome was detecting invasive species that sneak in through our borders to colonise our coastal environments.
We've been working on a series of what we call assays, which are basically little chemical tests that say, oh, organism Y is here, or organism X is not present. So it's a way of having little chemical tests that we can run on portable platforms that can say whether we've got an invasive species present or not.
The Detect research team's development of specialised assays to detect marine invasive species and their work to optimise tools and methodologies for eDNA sample collection will make it a lot easier for a wide range of people to monitor our marine environment for invasive species. Another key area of focus for the research team was protecting coastal infrastructure that is vulnerable to colonisation by invasive species.
In the Toolbox program, we're trying to solve an age-old problem of biofouling. So a lot of money and research has been done on preventing fouling on ships, but no work's been done to date looking at how you can prevent it from forming on marina pontoons or oil rigs and things that sit still for a long period of time. So we built on a foundational work that we'd previously done prior to the program, but I think the big step we took here was to scale up our devices to treat an entire marina pontoon. So we headed over to Waikawa Marina, cleaned a pontoon over there and then attached our diffusers. So the trial went for about 3 months, and over that time we were able to prevent the biofouling accumulation on the bottom surfaces of an entire pontoon. So what we've got now is an approach that works, and our overall vision is to develop a technology or a treatment type that is cost effective to apply at scale.
Another key focus of the program's research was to empower biosecurity managers with better information and tools to manage and respond to invasive species when they slip through the border.
Yes, so the research team that I worked in was called Manage and Respond, and one of the main goals of it was to build a new and what we think is a world's first national network model for New Zealand. And so what we did was compile lots of data on commercial shipping, on recreational boating and on aquaculture vessel movements, and compiled all that together so that we had a network map, a sort of dynamic network map of the country. And then we add population biology of pests into that, and we can start to predict how pests might spread around and what different interventions might achieve. So one of the important things about the tools we develop is that they really have impact and are practically useful. And so when we end up with an unwanted pest arriving in New Zealand, like exotic caulerpa in the last couple of years, it was very satisfying that our tools were able to help in a practical way with that incursion response.
From its outset, the focus of the Toolbox program was on impact and the needs of end users, which is why we worked so closely with community, local government, industry and Māori partners.
Yes, well we've got some really unfortunately quite large declines in our key taonga species, kaimoana species in our mataitai areas, and we see biosecurity, marine biosecurity incursions as a huge risk to those, and we've already got Mediterranean family established in Aotearoa in the Marsden Cove Marina, but we also noticed probably just a few years ago now that it was spreading into the Takahiwa area out here in our mataitai, which led us to want to be involved and see what tools were being developed and how we might be able to utilise them ourselves in our day-to-day work as kaitiaki.
So where did we get to? After 5 years, the toolbox is complete, and we've published over 100 articles, created 20 new biosecurity solutions, and held well over 100 workshops and meetings to share knowledge between kaitiaki, researchers, students and end users. We've inspired a new generation of citizen scientists and empowered communities and volunteers to get involved in efforts to protect our marine ecosystems. We've empowered biosecurity managers to use their resources effectively to predict, detect, prevent and manage biosecurity risks. Improved marine biosecurity will significantly benefit Aotearoa New Zealand's economy, environment and society. We're proud of the work we've delivered with the support of the government's Endeavour Research Fund. The next part is up to you, so please check out the toolkit online at www.biosecuritytoolbox.org.nz and explore the resources and tools for yourself. If you want to talk to us about how these can be applied to help you make a difference, get in touch with us by emailing biosecurity@cawthron.org.nz.